She was born in a tiny one-room cabin in the mountains of Tennessee, a home so poor it was once paid for with a sack of cornmeal. Yet that little girl would grow up to become one of the most legendary entertainers in history. Her name? Dolly Parton. With over 100 million records sold, multiple Grammy Awards, best-selling books, blockbuster movies, and even her own theme park, Dollywood, Dolly Parton became a global icon. But behind the glittering rhinestones, towering wigs, and dazzling smile, there was a story few people truly understood. For decades, Dolly admitted she lived something close to a double life. The glamorous superstar the world saw was, in many ways, a carefully crafted character. Dolly once described her public persona as a ventriloquist dummy, a bright, sparkling shield designed to protect the real woman behind it. The wigs, the makeup, the sparkling outfits, they weren't just fashion, they were armor. In fact, Dolly famously slept with her makeup on. Why? Because she always wanted to be camera-ready, even if an earthquake woke her up in the middle of the night. And yet beneath all that glamour was the same humble girl raised in the Smoky Mountains. Her childhood home had no electricity, no running water, and 12 siblings sharing tight space. Winters meant frozen sinks and sleeping 3 to a bed. But Dolly never called herself poor. She called herself blessed. That mindset shaped the woman she became. Not just a star, but one of the most generous philanthropists in entertainment. Through her literacy program, the Dollywood Foundation, Dolly created the Imagination Library, which has delivered hundreds of millions of free books to children around the world. And in 1974, she proved she was more than just a singer. When Elvis Presley wanted to record her song, "I Will Always Love You," his manager demanded half of the songwriting rights. Dolly said no. That single decision would later earn her millions when Whitney Houston turned the song into one of the biggest hits in music history. But perhaps the most surprising part of Dolly's story isn't the fame, the fortune, or the sparkle. What's the heart behind it all? A woman who turned poverty into power, pain into music, kindness into a legacy that will outlive any spotlight. Because behind every rhinestone, there was always something real. And that's what made Dolly Parton unforgettable. If you love discovering the real stories behind legendary stars, subscribe now to Star Memories.